and welcome back to part 2 of me leaving a federal job. Before I continue, if you haven't watched my last video to see what happened to get to where we're at now, go ahead and watch that. I'll link it down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, click the little bell so you can be notified every time we post a video, and let's continue. Okay, so I think I left off at July 14th. So July 14th comes and I finally get an email. The email says, we're trying to call you to schedule you for orientation. Now, mind you, the phone number I had when I applied no longer exists. That's a whole nother story on itself. So anyways, they emailed me, so I emailed them back and I was like, yes, I'm available, I'll be there. So my orientation was going to be on Wednesday the 21st. Wednesday the 21st, 8:30 at this location. So I said, yes, I'll be there. Can't wait, see you guys then. So I go to orientation, not knowing it's a 2-day orientation, because, you know, originally they said 1 day. And it was 5 of us sitting in a room with the facilitator who's handling the orientation, and basically just watching PowerPoints. Like, she's basically just telling us about the company, what the company represents, what they expect of you. And yes, literally 2 days of this. Now, don't get me wrong, the facilitator was nice, she was friendly, she wasn't a bad person. But when I say she told us all the gory details, like, she told us all the gory details. She said, you're gonna hate it, you're gonna cry, you're gonna wish you never did take the job, you're gonna have a hard time, you're gonna get frustrated, you're gonna get irritated, but don't quit. She said don't quit, because even though you're not a career employee right now, you will be. You'll get there. Don't give up. And that was one of the other things too. So there's details, we'll get into it, but yeah, don't give up. So already I'm like, what are you talking about? And she told us over and over again, like, I know you guys don't want to hear this, but I'm being honest with you and I'm telling you guys the truth, because if it was me, I wish someone told me in the beginning. Okay guys, sorry, pause on that. So out of this whole drawer, I'm only getting rid of these. It might look like a lot, it might not, but these are all the things that I know doesn't fit me anymore, even though, like, this is super cute and I don't want to get rid of it. But yeah, so now that we know what we're not keeping, let's try making this look better. So I'm gonna dump it out again because, yeah, I just need to. So anyways, yeah, so she tells us, don't give up, you're not gonna like it, just think of the paycheck. The paycheck is the greatest thing. You're gonna love it, you're gonna be so happy when you get it. And I knew, in general, it was a good pay. Now, starting pay hourly was pretty much exactly what I was getting at my retail job. But at my retail job, I was a salary worker. So no matter what, even though I had an hourly pay, I only got paid for 86 hours. So now with this new job that they're telling me is so much hours per day, that's a lot of overtime. But like I said, she's over here telling us how bad the job is, that, you know, it's hard, it's rough, but don't give up. And I'm just like, what? Like, this doesn't sound healthy. So by the second day, she's continuing her normal, whatever she has to tell us, whatever we have to do. And also, don't give up. Don't quit, don't give up. Just think of the paycheck. And for me, I understand a paycheck is a huge impact on anybody. Like, this world is not cheap to live in. It's expensive, especially where we live. It's minimum wage is $10.10. I know it's more or less other places, but especially where we live, it's hard. But anyway, she was like, you're not gonna have any time off. Kiss your friends and family goodbye, because you're never gonna see them again. You're gonna be kissing them hi when you come home, just to go to sleep, and bye in the morning, and that's it. You're not gonna have no weekends off. You're not gonna be able to go to any parties, do anything. Like, this is your life now. So my question to her was, how do employees manage their doctor's appointments? And she was like, they don't. She said, take care of whatever personal business you have to take care of now, because once you start, you're not gonna have time to do anything. And I was like, what? Like, for me, and I told her this, I was like, well, I had a doctor's appointment, and well, this was still July. It's August now. But I told her, I was like, I had a doctor's appointment scheduled for August. I had to cancel it because I quit my job to come here. And because I quit my job, I no longer have medical. So I was waiting to come here to get my medical so I can reschedule my appointment. And she just like hesitated and looked away, and she's like, oh, well, yeah, sorry. And I'm like, what? Like, how does that make sense? I don't get it. Anyways, two things I forgot to mention before I started this video that I wanted to mention at the beginning is, number one, I know I'm going to sound like I'm complaining as I tell this story. I know I'm going to sound like I'm complaining. I'm not. I'm just like mind blown. And number two, if you figure out where this place is, well, like I said, it's a federal, it's federal. So just that alone. But number two, you're going to judge me. If you figure out where this place is and the fact that I left, I know you're gonna judge me. It's fine, whatever. Just don't tell me. I don't care. Like, if you tell me, that's when I care, but judge me behind my back, I don't care. You're either gonna understand why I left, or you're gonna be like, what did you do? Why'd you quit? You should have just sucked it up and deal with it. Like, yeah. But anyways, let's continue. So yeah, already I had the fact that I can no longer go to a doctor's appointment, and I'm a regular doctor goer. Like, I see my eye doctor once a year, I see my dentist every 6 months, and I see my lady doctor once a year. So that's 4 appointments in a year, which isn't bad. But now you're telling me I can't go to my 4 appointments? Like, to me, that's horrible. I do wear contacts, so of course I need to see my eye doctor because my vision is constantly changing. My dentist, not so bad. It's more so for a cleaning, but I'm gonna be real, the last 2 times I went, I had a different hygienist each time, and they were not in communication with each other, and they saw I had a cavity kind of starting, but they didn't do anything with it. So my dentist was like, well, the next time you come, we need to give you a filling. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Like, it's not my fault. Talk to your assistants, but whatever. So already I know I have to get a filling. I am a female, so I am on birth control, and we all know, number one, check for cancer. Number two, how else are you going to get your pills without getting an exam, right? So anyways, after that 2 days of orientation with that one facilitator, my supervisor sits us down in a room and talks to us, and he tells us his expectations. So he tells us that even though probation is I think it's 120 days there, for your first year, do not request off. Do not think about requesting off, because I'm not approving anyone's requests. You call out once, you're fired. You're late once, you're fired. Take this job seriously. Come to work, do what you gotta do, go home. He said there is a lot of bullshit at this job. There is a lot of drama. Keep your nose out of it. Keep your head down and just do what you gotta do. So already I'm like, no. Oh, I'm sorry. There's more. On top of that, he says you'll get 1 day off a week, if even that, if you're lucky. It's usually, it's mandatory because of our position and bottom of the totem pole, mandatory 11.5-hour shifts. They can work us up to 13 days straight. It used to be more, but they finally had to cut it off at 13. So yeah, kiss your family goodbye. Your life is here now. And for me, that just rubbed me the wrong way. Like, the wrong way. And some people were like, is that legal? Can they do that? I'm like, well, apparently they can. And other things that was mentioned was, you know, there are 2 situations, and I don't want to say what they are because that's kind of going to be a dead giveaway as to where it was if any of these 2 situations happen, we're gonna have to let people go. And if they let people go, guess who's gonna be the first one? Me at the bottom of the totem pole. So over time I kept thinking about it and I was like, is this worth it? Like, I was shocked. So the second day of my orientation, it was done at 3:30. I literally went into my car and sat in my car and cried. I drove myself to go get coffee and I drove myself home, and from 3:30 to 5:30, a good 2 straight hours, I cried. And I mentioned in one of my other videos, like, I wanted to do a video but I couldn't because I literally cried for 2 hours straight. At that point in time, I was thinking, what did I do? What did I get myself into? Did I just F up my life? Like, you know, my job was, like I said, my job wasn't the best job at the retail, but it wasn't bad. I had it pretty good. So anyways, I was telling my other half this and he was just like, you know, whatever. He might just be telling you guys that to scare you, to see who's weak, to see who's gonna bail out. Like, don't let it get to you. And I understood. I totally understood. I was like, yeah, you're right, but what if he's not? And the thing about my supervisor was, everyone was saying how he's not a conversationalist. He doesn't want to hear your bullshit. He just do what you got to do and go home. So I didn't feel comfortable being able to talk to him at all. So anyways, after those 2 days, we had another day of kind of online training. Basically, we just sat in a room and watched a Zoom, and that trainer, you know, taught us whatever she had to teach us. And she told us the same thing. She said, you know, it's gonna be tough, just stick it out, because in the beginning it's gonna be hard, but once you get used to it, it'll be fine. And I'm just like, if everyone has something bad to say, then that's not good. That's definitely not good. So my fourth day, that trainer came, because she's from Oahu, so she came and worked with us one-on-one per day. So my fourth day, I was with her one-on-one. And as we're standing there, she's like, you know, it's really bad here, but it's worse at other locations. You'll get through it. You'll be fine. Just do what you gotta do and go home. And I'm like, you're not making me feel any better. Like, I don't know what kind of positivity you thought that was gonna be, but it wasn't. So then my fifth day was just a shadow day. Typically I was supposed to go on a delivery with the person I was shadowing, but because of, you know, what's going on in the world, we had to go separate. So basically I just followed her around all day, watched what she did. I had questions for her and I asked her, you know, how is this, how is that, like, is it worth it? This is my situation. And she was like, you know, honestly, I love my job because of how my lifestyle is right now. She can do it, but if she was in my position, she would never. She doesn't think she would stay. She doesn't think it would be realistic for her if she was in my position, meaning for me being in my position, it's not worth it. But of course, she's not telling me what to do. She's just, you know, saying from experience, it's my own decision, and I completely understand. So another thing you need to know about me, which I really don't want to say everything, is we rent. We don't own, we rent. And where we rent from, without saying too much, they have certain restrictions. Not saying that, like, you can't do this, you can't do that, but in order to live here and rent from here, there's certain restrictions. And in the future, November, December is our annual renewal. So number one, we're required to sign papers. If I have no days off and I can't request off, how am I supposed to go to my office and sign papers? Number two, if the income is so good, which I believe it is, trust me, I believe it is, we're gonna get kicked out because we're gonna exceed those restrictions, I guess you could say. And if we're gonna get kicked out, that means we have to find another place to live, pack up, and move. Now, of course, with such great income, we can afford to do it, but how am I supposed to find another place to live, pack up, and move when I'm not allowed to request off, I can't call out, and I have no days off? Like, realistically, how am I gonna do that? Which means I'm gonna lose my housing and I'm gonna lose my job at the same time. So then what's gonna happen then? So it was a lot to think about. I was telling a couple of my friends, I was telling my mom, and all of my friends said, just stick it out, maybe it'll get better. And I'm like, I get that, maybe it will, but am I really gonna risk losing my house and my job at the same time? Like, really? And the number one person I was scared to tell was my mom, because my mom has always wanted me to get, you know, a big girl job, like work with the county, work with whatever. She didn't want me to stay in retail sales for years. She didn't want me to stay there forever. But like I said, it's what's easy, it's what I'm good at. And I was scared to tell her because I thought she was going to be disappointed. I thought she was going to want me to stay. She didn't want me to whatever. But anyways, I told her and she was like, oh my God. Like, she was shocked. When I told her, she was shocked. She was like, how is that realistic? How do they expect that of anybody? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. So eventually she told my dad, and I was like, well, what did my dad say? And he was like, I wouldn't even finish the rest of the week. So anyways, they contact me again, and my next training is supposed to be on Tuesday, this past Tuesday, August 3rd. I was supposed to be there at 6 a.m. and my alarm starts going off. I get up and I go to the bathroom to start getting ready, and I just sat there. I just sat in the bathroom doing nothing. I was staring at my phone and I was contemplating an email, because that's how they communicate, is through email. So I was reading the email telling me, you know, about my day and my time that I'm supposed to be there, and I'm just like, I don't want to go. I don't want to do this. Like, I might regret this, I might not, but I don't think this is for me, and I don't want to go. So I sat, like I said, I sat in my bathroom for like a good half an hour, maybe an hour, writing an email, my resignation letter. And a part of me was like, am I really gonna send this? Am I really doing it this way? Should I just go? Should I not? Like, what am I doing? And like I said, I had to be there at 6 a.m. At 5:58, I pressed send. Pressed send, went back into the bedroom and lied down. And my other half was awake by then. And he was like, I thought you work. And I'm like, not anymore. He was like, you quit? I'm like, yeah, I did. I'm sorry. He's like, it's fine, whatever. That's another story. So yeah, I quit. And I was nervous because, you know, they're pretty straight up people, but you know, she emailed me back. The head, she emailed me back. She was like, thank you for letting me know early on in training, blah blah blah, just sign this paper, turn it in. So I'm like, okay, that went good. Not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. But yeah, now I have no job. And we have bills to pay. My other half, I feel like I disappointed him, but he doesn't want to say it. I'm not saying, I don't know if he really is or not, but I feel like I did, because this was my big ticket job. Like, honestly, this was my big ticket job. Paychecks are averaged at like $3,000, $3,500 every 2 weeks. It's an every 2 week paycheck, and that's average what you take home, because there's so much overtime. But for you to tell, and like I said, I didn't mind working the hours, but for you to tell me that I can't even have one day off to go to the doctors, or to possibly have to find a place to live in the future, that's where I didn't feel right. I was like, I am not anyone's slave. And don't get me wrong, there are people doing it. Of course, there are people doing it. There are people who are, you know, working the job, they're successful, they're great, they're living life. But everyone's living situation is different. And I wasn't gonna risk losing my house and my job at the same time. So that was my final decision. So yes, I'm not working right now. This happened on Tuesday. It's Friday. I've applied at 9 different places since then. I've only heard back from one so far. I am telling myself, you know, it's still early. One of the places was just like, the position's there, but they had to put a pause on hiring. So I was like, okay, well, thank you for letting me know. That's fine. At least I know. So 8 more to go. Now, when I left my other job, my boss basically said, if it doesn't work out and you want to come back, I'll always have something for you. So what do? What do I do? A part of me doesn't want to go back because I am embarrassed. Like, I left being a manager for this really good federal job and I couldn't even do that. And for me to go back and have to look at everyone and them knowing where I went, and then the fact that I came back, like, for me, that's really hard. Like, I know people are judgmental whether we try to be or not, but I don't handle judgment very well. Like I said, I'm a very emotional person. I don't know if this is gonna fit, but yeah, one of my other friends that's still there is always, are you coming back? Are you coming back? When are you coming back? And at first I was like, hell no, because I wasn't gonna leave. I was like, I got a good job, like why would I come back? And now I'm like, well, I have no job. I have no job, I have bills to pay, I applied at other places, but I have to wait to hear from them. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm telling myself, give myself at least till Monday, find out if I can at least, you know, hear back from one of the 9 or 8 places I have left to hear about, and take it from there. And if not, then maybe I will apply back in my old job, my old position. Like I said, it's a 45-minute drive from home, and that's the one thing I'm not looking forward to. But you know, if it's a guaranteed paycheck and I can pay my bills, then I guess it's what I have to do. But we'll see. But I'm stumped, guys. Like, I'm super stumped. And even telling the story, I feel like there's so much I didn't say. But yeah, just know that that's what's going on with my life right now. I left a federal job because it just didn't feel right. The environment was not welcoming. The environment was not like, okay guys, let's get, no, it was just, it just felt bad. It just felt really bad. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say for now. I hope I didn't butcher this story too much, because sometimes I talk without thinking. I got this organized, so at least that's better. I do have a handful of stuff that I got rid of, but yeah. So yeah, if you guys know anywhere that is hiring and you know me and what I'm capable of, please let me know. Put in a good word for me. I don't know, let me know where's hiring. Let me know. Until then, bye guys.